Yeah, if you're still a hipster like me and playing on PS4 still, I think this is a pretty fun randomizer build, especially if you have a habit like me to where I seem to emphasize equipment, getting super godlike and stuff like that. It can get pretty repetitive and boring, so I figured this is a good way to set it up and make it pretty interesting, especially if you're trying to stick to pretty much as vanilla as possible. I think it's pretty fun. Like, all it's really doing is emphasizing randomizing opponents' equipment and getting stuff like that, so you don't have to necessarily enchant, use alchemy and oversmith, things like that. It's something where you can just kind of explore and just let it be its dungeon crawler self. So yeah, here we have the one that essentially mixes up the equipment. So all the bandits and all the things that are, just generic and things like that, they all have any equipment in the game. So especially like me, I played this game off and on for years and I have no idea what equipment is actually out there still. So it's pretty fun. I'm still finding random things I didn't even know existed, so it's pretty fun to play around. And it also hops up the difficulty a little bit too for a challenge. And this one here is interesting. It actually allows, upgrade equipment, so you can get exquisite, epic variants and stuff like that. So that means you don't have to focus all that time into smithing. So you can just kind of bypass that and still enjoy, getting better equipment, even if it is technically the same thing. So that's always pretty fun. And you could also install ones like this to where essentially it just adds random weapons into the sandbox pretty much. So I have yet to find one of these, but still, you could use any variants of this type of stuff. It just adds a little bit of extra things you could find to keep it all juiced up and interesting. And of course, if you want to keep it a bit more fast-paced and, you want to enjoy getting pretty good things quickly, especially if you're going to be playing for a while and you want to scale with your level, having this better loot one is definitely pretty good. And you don't have to worry about money afterwards really either. And to go with the better loot, we have the rich merchants here, so that's pretty snazzy. It's not a must, but it's definitely helpful in case you do get higher levels and you just want to sell crap, but at that point you're set up anyway, right? So why even? And also to make it fun, I like throwing in different spawn encounters and different creatures you can fight. So I'll have the diverse creatures here. Then I'll add some extra bosses so you can run around and find even more stuff. I'm not sure if the randomizer will get rid of, like, if they have unique swords. If it's a unique encounter, they tend to stay the same, so you shouldn't have to worry about that for the most part. But since it is a mod add-on, you never know if it could affect it or not, so always keep an eye out for that. And then another legendary creatures. It's always fun, to be able to fight similar variants, but it definitely goes up in difficulty a little bit, so you're not just swinging, decapitating everything in one hit. I mean, don't get me wrong, it could be satisfying, it's like pub stomping, but yeah, I'll do a little demonstration just to kind of show you how it works. And yeah, hope you enjoy.
Yes.
And yeah, as you see, everything should be nice and randomized, so it's super cool to see what you can get early on to work with and just experiment with different builds, especially if it's your first playthrough. This will be pretty entertaining. And like I said, it adds a nice little challenge to boot, so pop these in and I hope you enjoy it.